Hello, I'm back. It's 5:43 p.m. Well, I guess I just woke up. I don't know if it was 20 minutes ago that I woke up. So I just woke up. I think I fell asleep. It was sometime. I think it was after 2:45. I got more sleep, and it was either 2:45 or 3:45 that I got more sleep, and and I ended up with a couple of more dream manipulation nightmares, and um so I heard that I've been getting a lot of weather alerts about the rain. Um, I've been getting a lot of weather alerts about the rain, and and on my phone I've been getting a lot of weather alerts about the rain, and like when I checked around noon, um, I checked around noontime, and I checked around noontime, and it didn't look like it was raining at all. It looked like the ground was dry still, but I have not set foot out of this room nor opened the door for any reason at all today. I mean, I stayed in here all day long today. Um, didn't even go down to breakfast. So, um, but like I still feel some heaviness on my heart, and and like still feeling really tired. Excuse me. So but yeah, on the video from Saturday night, I got zero thumbs up and over 178 views. No, 100 over 180 views, zero thumbs up. And I looked at the YouTube studio, and it says zero thumbs down. And excuse me. And that video from the library from Friday, the first video and the second video, I got like 23 like nine thumbs up and 23 thumbs down. Whenever I get higher number of thumbs down like that, it's when my twin sister is sharing my videos to her cult followers to exploit me, make a fool out of me, and try to make me look crazy, and recruiting them to give me mass thumbs down. While she will thumbs down my videos herself. So she would try to be like, oh, look at Candy's behavior. Look at what she's doing. Look at that. Look at this. Look at that. Like the video with the IHOP video that was a couple of Saturdays ago. And my twin sister recruited for her cult followers to have me to have like over 250 something views, but only 3 or 4 thumbs up. And then like massive thumbs down because she lied to people and said that I started with the lady, when I was actually confronting her about stealing from me. And the lady looked like she was like, I don't know whether she does crystal meth, or she looked like a druggie. And so, and then she went as far as to like if even another person that was a supportive subscriber had commented that, yeah, it ain't about her working at IHUB as a manager for 20 years. She been gang stalking for 20 years. That's what he was more like trying to say. She been a perp for 20 years. And because I couldn't imagine somebody making $300 a day as an IHOP manager. I don't think so. But you look like you do drugs. And how the hell they let you be a manager if you a damn druggie? And then, so I have not looked at my twin sister's page because I don't want to get upset. But I can tell that by the activity that's going on my page, on my YouTube channel, like the results of the video views, the amount of thumbs up, the amount of thumbs down, that my twin sister doing some talking, that she's still stalking and harassing and trying to smear campaign and try to make what you see in the video, she'll try to twist it to her cult following, flying monkeys, to make it look like this is what Candy is really trying to do. I believe that my twin sister is getting paid to do all this to me. Because she thinks that she might be getting paid over $300 a day, perping her own twin sister. Because I heard that the gang stalking network as a whole, not any one single person, but the gang stalking network as a whole, that they be making millions off of targeting, torturing, satanic ritually abusing, and trafficking the targeted individual. So thank you to the 9. Actually, on that video, I think it was the second video, one of those videos for that day, I got 17 thumbs up. And the perps chopped it down to either I got a legitimate 17 thumbs up, and what the perps did was they saw that and they were like, oh, we ain't having that. So they artificially manipulated the numbers to make sure that I have a higher amount of thumbs down. Or else I got a higher number of thumbs up, and then my twin sister must have done a fake follow-up video or live stream. Excuse me, or a fake video or live stream or community post to try to twist the narrative to take away, to fraudulently and illegally rob me of my innocence by lying, smear campaigning, manipulating, and twisting the story around to make me look like as if I was in the wrong or the crazy one. Either that or the fake Darnell Williams perp took on multiple accounts, multiple fake YouTube accounts, and give me thumbs up, and then come hours or even days later to come switch it to thumbs down. Because as I said, and he's been doing that before, and it's like, when we having like 23 thumbs down, because him on one person with multiple fake accounts using like 10 or 25 accounts or something to thumb me down, being that desperate. So that's the kind of games that they play, that they give you a thumbs up and give you false hope, where it seems like too good to be true for me to get such a high number of thumbs ups that quick when I'm going through a crisis. And then quickly, I end up with a massive thumbs down. I don't even know. I probably threw the receipts away. But I don't owe y'all anything. Owe y'all proof of nothing. I'm doing these videos for myself. These videos aren't even for y'all online stalkers. And if my twin sister said that she don't want to be a twin anymore, then she need to back off and mind her fucking business too. Fuck off and mind your damn business. But she's doing that because she gets her thrill off of trying to control and bully and abuse somebody. And what she's doing is not righteous. Just because you got flying monkeys to support you does not mean you're right. And I'm telling you, y'all gonna go to fucking hell. I'm gonna say it again. Y'all gonna freaking burn. And y'all don't like that, but you love telling me how I deserve to go be institutionalized, jailed, or go into prison. I'm fucking sick of it. So before I forget, I need to talk about what the dream manipulation nightmare, bad dreams to document that I just had. So I guess I'll fess up. Okay, Saturday at the library, I saw, it was Miss Lillian and Shamela from the Kraft family that I saw. And they came to the library. And Shamela came. I didn't realize that was them. But Shamela came in there and they looked like really sad, And I didn't really count too much, but it looked like it was 5 to 7 women dressed in like all white dresses, all white dresses. And then, and then like they went in the multi-purpose room. And then, I tried to, because Miss Cheryl used to take her grandson, Talisha's son, Cyrus, to the library every Saturday, and I knew that years ago, like back in 2017, 18, 19, she used to, it didn't seem like she missed a weekend of taking him to the library every Saturday. Now, I've heard people were saying that, like the Foster family, they were saying that Cyrus, had autism or something, So, now, one time I saw online maybe it was a few years ago or a couple of years ago, of Cyrus throwing up devil horns hand signs, and I don't know if he did that, if he's associated with the, or if he was just copying off of the hand signs from the celebrities he see, or if he did that from, the family being Masonic, and I felt like, oh, well, wow, them walking around, them having like a meeting or whatever with all white dresses, that just, for some odd reason, seems like a Masonic event, but I don't even, because I heard that the Freemasons be having their fake Bible studies and church and all that too. Like that church that they go to is Masonic. And I saw a lady that I never saw before, I don't think, but she looked like a mixture of Bob and Miss Cheryl, but I knew that Bob and Miss Cheryl are gone. They're deceased. And so they noticed me afterwards, after the Bible study or meeting or whatever was over. And Miss Lillian, I'm surprised this time she was excited to see me. And Shamela thought that I was my twin sister, But, I understand that, if they're grieving and, going through, whatever that they're going through, and I offered my condolences and said I was, sorry for, Miss Cheryl, their loss or whatever, But I didn't have too much problems with Shamela. Maybe a few little problems, but but the main and the main problem was Lanika. But I had certain problems with some Kraft family members, and some problems with, some not so much problems with Kraft family members, But you know, and so, Miss Lillian was excited to see me and stuff, and like, they asked me how I've been lately and stuff, and I've been like, well, I'm homeless and, trying to, you know, stay strong or whatever, and so Miss Lillian was like, as big as house as the, you know, talking about the foster mom, big as her house, how come you can't stay there? I'm like, I ain't messing with them people, you know, but like in 2018 when I went over there, you know, Miss Lillian, you know, I felt like when I went over by Miss Lillian's house, I felt like as if I was treated like as if my presence wasn't welcome. I felt like as if I was being ignored or like they didn't pay much attention to me or they weren't excited to see me or whatever. And then Miss Cheryl was over there and she was talking about when T. Paula from the nursery had passed away and stuff. But, I was kind of feeling like I was being treated like as if my presence wasn't welcome, by the family. And this was before I started speaking out on YouTube about the abuse from foster care or anything like that, And so, like if I said, well, if they're not mad at me, I ain't mad at them, or if they ain't grudging against me, I ain't grudging against them, But I got my solid confirmation that Lanika is a damn perp, and she ain't got. I mean, she ain't, because she didn't have to do me the way she did me. And in 2018, I told Miss Cheryl what Lanika did to me, and Miss Cheryl didn't want to believe that it was Lanika. And she's like, "Are you sure that wasn't Talisha?" I'm like, "No, it was Lanika. It was not Talisha." But I don't even know if they know about Lanika, even though we've all grown and make out whatever our own decisions. But Lanika had been sold out and recruited like long time ago. So, but I mean, so then it's like, like, well, that explains why she acted strange the way she did. And in 2018 and like earlier 2019, I should have looked closer to see whether or not if Lanika had one headlight or some shit like that on her, a vehicle that she had that the color looked like a variation of red, you know. Um, so, and I heard that they use people from your past to gang stalk you and stuff. So, like, but I did not. It's like the interaction with Miss Lillian and Shamela and them, it seemed like as if it was like very brief, you know. And then they had a couple of people that I knew from the neighborhood that they were at this little, thing or whatever that they went to too. But I do remember in 2018 they were talking about paying church dues. And I'm like, does this mean that they're Masonic? And and that New Hope Baptist Church they have Freemason symbolism on on the side of the building. And so I don't know if I don't know, like, but like when and that was my last time seeing Danielle in 2018. It seemed like as if she said hi to me and quickly hugged me, and then didn't want any conversation, just went upstairs and like, wow, Danielle, you ain't seen or heard from me in years. But She didn't even sit down and just chit chat with me or anything like that. It's like, but I do not know if she was sick around that time, and if she was sick around that time, then it's completely understandable. But if she wasn't sick, then she came off from work and was like wanted to just keep everything short and sweet and say, "Hey, quick, hey," and then went upstairs, went inside the house, and I'm like, damn, you ain't seen or heard from me like in 11 years, and my twin sister told me over the phone one of the times we were on good terms and talking on the phone when I was living in Los Angeles, and she said that John Kraft and Shamela freaked out when they found out that I was living in Los Angeles by myself without family. But Saturday, it didn't seem like Shamela or Miss Lillian perked me at all. But my twin sister, like, she told me that that Danielle had asked for us on her deathbed or something like that. And I thought at first I thought that my twin sister did say that that Danielle had asked Joni about us or asked about us on her last breath, because Danielle had passed away like in 2019 of cancer, stomach cancer or something like that, and I'm like, well, that was wild, so as I said, I was the same kind of hurt as when the biological cousin Blake got shot and killed. I was even crying on the damn bus, the transit bus in Pensacola, when I was new to Pensacola, and so, but so then my twin sister got mad. It's like, I trying to copy off what the fake foster mom and on the foster brother Joe would do. I never told you that Danielle asked for us on her last breath. I'm like, well, I'm sorry if I took your words the wrong way then, but you did say something about that. Yeah, she told me in an email that Danielle had asked for us on her deathbed. Something like that. But I did not get her words twisted up on purpose, but I know it was something along those lines, and I was along those lines, I meant to say, and I was dazed or sleep deprived and may have accidentally, said it the wrong way, but she said that Danielle had asked for us on her deathbed or something like that. So like, yeah, like when me and my twin sister, when I was there in 2017 by her house, and my twin sister was gang stalking and perping and abusing me, and waited till after I got up there to try to tell me that China didn't want me over there. And then me and my twin sister, like, we didn't speak from 2017 until, but wait a minute, before then, yeah, it was 2017 when my twin sister tried to ignore me for our birthday, and then she waited until the end of the night to tell me that the foster aunt Dana had died on China's birthday. And China and Miss Cheryl from the Kraft family, they share the same birthday, August 1st. So that Dana, the foster mom's sister Dana, died, and nobody told me about it until my twin sister told me and was trying to keep a distance from me. And my twin sister lied on me. She lied on me for an excuse to not talk to me for our birthday. And I forgot what lies she told about me. So then she acted a certain kind of weird, But and then like she smear campaigned me to Joni and had Joni, the foster sister Joni, to not want to talk to me. You know, but yeah, I don't even know if the foster mom, like my twin sister, there was points and times when she would tell me that John Kraft would tell her that the foster mom doesn't live at that house in Gretna no more. But I felt spooked when I recently walked through the neighborhood and I saw cars. It was right before the time when I got, the arrest and everything. I saw cars that looked like it was a bunch of cars there. And, I didn't even know if other foster family members lived there or if it was entirely new people that lived there. Because, I don't know if the foster mom Adrian failed to move back there. Or if I don't know if she moved back there or if other family members live there now or if is a complete set of different people. For all we know, it might be Vietnamese people that live at that house now. Who knows? But I don't think so. But but I don't know who currently lives at that house. But I did a video showing the house we grew up in, and still been having like dreams about that doggone house, or still having nightmares and PTSD nightmares and flashbacks about the foster mom's abuse. Now, since but I don't know if Saturday, if I don't know if if I got the sense that it seemed like as if Shamela kind of acted like she didn't want to hug me or whatever. But I don't know if it was. I don't know. But like, I didn't even expect to see them. But my twin sister would love to have me to get a beat down or murdered. And my twin sister give no fucks. Now she expect for other family members to stick together and be loyal to each other to come against me. But my twin sister and my family, none of them will be loyal to me. I told y'all I got 5 biological brothers, and none of them will protect or defend or go to bat for me. But Blake would have defended Rebecca. When Blake was alive, Blake would have defended Rebecca in a heartbeat. Blake's cousins would have gone to bat for and defended Rebecca. Blake and Rebecca's cousins off their dad's side would have gone to bat for and defended them. But Blake would not have even defended me if he saw something bad happen to me. But my twin sister has expressed that, if any time in New Orleans, if I get murdered by a complete stranger, then I would definitely deserve it, or that I'm asking for it. But she would get her feelings hurt if somebody said that she was asking for to get hurt, or if it's like she's just looking for excuses to hate me and be against me. So as I said, I did not even know that Miss Cheryl had recently passed away until after I saw that she said that my twin sister had said that. So I didn't even know. So, but to be honest though, Miss Cheryl, when I saw her in 2018, the few times I saw her, she kind of really wasn't that nice towards me. But, she used to act like she was prejudiced to us when we were kids. And I believe it was because the foster mom smear campaigns and putting stuff in everybody's head to, manipulate everybody to hate us and view us as like badass freaking kids. So And there were a few other people who said that too, that like, oh, like, why come you don't live with the foster mom or whatever? Look how big her house is. Then I would have had to, I would have been like dealing with the foster brother Joe. Like, if I had to still deal with him, I would have, Joe or the foster brother-in-law Brian, I would have been murdered a long time ago with their abuse. Because like, they ramped up their physical abuse or whatever after I turned 18. And my twin sister has even gotten beatings from the foster brother Joe after we turned 18, 19 years old. And she cried and complained to me about how the foster brother Joe physically abused and beat on her during Mardi Gras when we were 19 going on 20. And she wasn't quite yet pregnant with Raven at that time, but it was right before she got pregnant with Raven. And my twin sister, she cried and complained to me and said that that her husband Dwayne sat there and let her be abused. No, you know what? That was in 2003, huh? Yeah, it was in 2003. And I remember I ended up in California with that job that they said was a scam job. And I wasn't there in New Orleans for Mardi Gras. And so my twin sister had and I had already was forced to have to quit Nicholls State University and all that, withdraw from the university. But I mean, you know, but as I said, like, they had like certain people who but anyway, I don't want to get off topic because my mind is just like in multiple different places. So like so yeah, like my twin sister still proceeded to get engaged to Dwayne and then marry him anyway. And she cried and complained that Dwayne just sat there and watched Joe abuse her and didn't step in and help or that he didn't step in or help, to defend her against Joe being abusing her. And I don't even remember what the reason was why he put his hands on her. But the last time the foster brother Joe put his hands on me, well, I guess she was the last one who got a beating from Joe, even after she had sold, even years after she sold out and became a perp, and Joe physically abusing and beating on her still. But the last time Joe put his hands on me and physically abused and beat on me I was 18 going on 19. And he had that was the time when the foster mom woke him out of he was sleeping in the afternoon, in the evening, and then at nighttime. And then me and the foster nephew, April's son, the foster nephew Kyle, me and him got into a heated argument over the TV. Well, not physically fighting, but arguing over the TV. And so they trained Kyle to be a narc. Now in 2017 or 18, no, 2018, no, 2000, you know what? It was 2020. When a brief moment I had a Facebook, I even saw Kyle throwing up devil horns. And I think Kayla too. Like pictures on Facebook of Kyle throwing up devil horns. But I think Kayla, I don't remember if I saw pictures of Kayla even throwing up satanic hand signs. And I'm like, what? Like, so like y'all, because remember I told y'all the foster sister April and the foster brother Joe, their dad is a musician from the Funky Meters. And Zigaboo Modelist is their dad. And, he was a Grammy he won Grammy Awards. And I heard everybody who wins Grammy Awards is you got to be a Freemason in order to even be nominated for Grammy Awards. And so I heard the Collins family is an Illuminati family. All the Collins are related. And then if Joseph Modelis Sr. Zigaboo, if you're a Grammy nominated artist or a Grammy winner, I heard that you're definitely a Freemason. And I heard that he used to physically abuse, the foster mom Adrian Felder said that he used to physically abuse and beat on her and cheat on her. Oh, she waited till after we took our graduation pictures and she was lecturing us about that. You know. But then the foster mom was abusive to us. And her son, Joe, is freaking abusive. Like, all three of her kids are freaking abusive. And so, and then, you know, so it's like, so yeah, like, in 2018, I mean, no, I'm sorry, not, it wasn't 2018. I meant to say it was in 2002, and I was 18 years old, and the foster brother Joe put his knee in my throat and raised up my arm and then balled up my fist with my own arm, and he grabbed my arm and balled my fist up, and then he started punching me, using my own arm to punch me, my own fist to punch me in my face, while he put his knee in my throat. I called the fake Gretna police. They said that if I wanted to press charges against him, we're both going to jail. But if he wanted to press charges against me, then it would be just me to go to jail. Like, that's not fucking fair. And the foster mom sicked Joe on me like a dog. When me and Kyle were just having a petty little argument over the TV. On what TV show to watch. And I was 18, but Kyle was like 11. And that was the last time that I remember that Joe physically abused and beat on me. And then after the police left, Joe started perping the fuck out of me. And then the foster boys were instigating and laughing. And each time I would get beat while in foster care, the Gretna police would each and every time take up for whoever foster family members physically abused and beat on me. Now, in 2003, right before I started UNO, the foster stepdad he physically abused and beat on me and choked me. And then the fake Gretna police said that, well, you have no right to be here, and they're only allowing you to stay here out of common courtesy. But remember in the previous video, I told y'all that the foster mom, after I was trying to live in New Orleans Towers, and the foster mom was trying to not let me move out of her house. And she was that greedy for $360-something a month, stealing my Social Security checks, and then lying and saying that wasn't my income. Come to find out I was my own payee, and she lied and manipulated for people to believe that she was my payee. But thankfully, 2019 of those dollars I got back back pay in 2017 because the Social Security said she committed fraud. But I don't even know if they investigated her, if they like you got like a whole big house in a BMW convertible that you got brand new. It was $60,000 in the year 1993. And my twin sister said that the foster mom, Adrian, failed to blood sacrifice the foster dad, Al. And she said, well, how else do you think she got that BMW? In a BMW that the foster mom would never let us drive. Yeah, that bitch didn't fucking love us. And the foster mom basically wouldn't let us drive shit. She didn't even fucking teach us how to drive. And I'm glad she didn't, because she would have been very abusive. Like, one time she tried to teach Joni how to drive, and Joni was scared. I mean, like, it's freaking normal to, it seemed like she was trying to force Joni to drive, and Joni didn't want to. But I was eager and wanted to drive, and she tried to stop me. She wouldn't let me drive. But she lied to my face and said that she never let Mark drive at 15. And yes, Mark was taking driver's ed when we were in like kindergarten or elementary school or something like that. Mark was taking driver's ed while we were still in high school. I mean, so while he was still in high school. But she forced us to wait until after we graduated, because if you say we're irresponsible and immature, but motherfucker, because your ass was a failure of a foster parent. You were a failure of a foster parent. That's what it was. You were a failure of a foster parent. You were a failure of a foster parent, and that is the reason why you failed as a foster parent, and that's why we grew up the way like any type of abuse. You're a failure of a parent. You're a fucking thief stealing us from our family, from our birth family. And now our birth family gives zero fucks about us. But I think they would have had more love for us if we would have grew up in our right family. And the fact that our freaking birth family ended up being like strangers to us. And the biological, every single biological family member gives zero fucks about me till this day. Hate me. Because my twin sister told them lies based off of the foster mom's abuse. So now, see, I'm getting severe thunderstorm warnings. So I have to check out of the hotel tomorrow morning, and I have like $23 or something left in the bank. But it's supposed to have thunderstorms and rain every day until at least next Monday. So, but this Wednesday, it's not supposed to rain, but I heard it's supposed to rain tomorrow. It's like, what am I going to do and where am I going to go? So, now, I had to give some history and background. And if me talking about what happened 20 years ago bothers you, then it'd be the malicious stalkers, my twin sister's cult followers, talking about, oh, she got a hotel room so she can, lay up in the bed and lay on her back and talk about stuff that happened over 20 years ago. Well, if that bothers you, then fucking unsubscribe, bitch. I will be glad. You ain't supposed to be subscribed to me or stalking and watching me anyway. How the fuck, who gave you the right to force yourself to stalk and watch my videos and think you got a right to complain about my damn life? I don't even fucking know you, you sick ass. I don't even fucking know your face, name, or identity, but you think you got the fucking right to complain about my YouTube content? Who the fuck do you think you are? But, as I said, my twin sister had been abused growing up and then turned into an abuser. And as I said, my twin sister has no problems with seeing me to get jumped or setting me up to get jumped and murdered or beat to death. But then she would be the biggest fake show off, at the funeral once I'm freaking dead and pretending that she fake fucking cared. And I know that the gang stalking is a trafficking and murder and satanic ritual abuse program. And this is one of the reasons why I film just about everything. Not everything, but I film just about everything. But the stalkers, I heard that they're watching through. They claim that they be recording us through walls and everything anyway, and surveilling us through our walls and anything. I mean, what am I saying? Surveilling us through our walls anyway. I could be homeless on the streets, and they have online stalkers that make goofy comments and be like, I'm living through your walls and stuff like that. And I'm like, motherfucker, I haven't even seen indoors like for 3 days. What you mean? You're in my walls. What walls? Or sometimes they be perverted enough to be like, I'm in your walls, meaning your vaginal walls. Stuff like that, But like the gang stalkers being perverted enough to watch, to watch you use they want to watch you use the bathroom and then put it on the dark web and stuff like that, So, I'm not saying that every Kraft family member is involved in my gang stalking, but Lanika, definitely. Miss Cheryl, probably. And John Kraft, as I say, I was 11 years old. He was making false rumors about me. Now, like, why are you a man and doing this to a girl? He would make up lies and said that I was flirting at men. I would be 11 years old. Why would you make up lies like that? And the foster mom would come and yell at me and confront me about it, and she would punish me even harder for saying that I should never. She would say that I should never say that adults are lying on me. But then when I became an adult, it was okay for the foster boys to say that I was lying when I would be telling the truth, and they would be lying and perping. The foster mom had the foster boys abusing and perping me. And the last beating from foster care was in 2006 after Hurricane Katrina, 2 days before me and my twin sister's birthday, which was the foster cousin Mildred's birthday, and the underaged foster boy James, not Joni's brother James, not James Burris, but I'm talking about the foster boy James Joseph, who the foster mom and his foster sister Shelly lied to the police on me, the fake Gretna police. And the police tried to play retarded. And then, they said that the foster boy, they try to pretend that they were taking the foster boy James to jail. And then they were like, oh, you're insulting my integrity. When I said that you playing psych games and pretending to take the foster boy James to jail. He physically meddled in and butted in me and the foster mom having an argument. He meddled in and butted in. And then he physically assaulted me and knocked me to the ground so hard that I cried. I fell to the ground and cried. And I immediately called the police. And the police pretended to play psych games and didn't want to freaking help me. So I promise you that Gretna police is fucking gang stalkers. Fuck them. And they're corrupt. Fuck that about, Gretna police don't play. No. You don't deserve that title of not playing. Yeah, y'all corrupt. Yeah, y'all fucking play. a whole bunch of freaking perverted psychopaths that dominate fake Gretna police. Over policing. Too much policing. But then they got NOPD for New Orleans and Orleans Parish Sheriff, and they've been crying about under-policing and too much crime. But people say Gretna is mainly a peaceful city and the arrest capital of America. I forgot about that. And they got their neighborhood watch and community policing program. And Gretna is a freaking Masonic city. Not so much the 70056, but the closer to downtown Gretna, like by Huey P. Long, that's the more Masonic they are. Like almost every freaking church around that area is Masonic. The Gretna police, the fire department, all of it, Masonic. I even believe that McDonaldville is Masonic. I wouldn't be surprised, because I heard that John McDonough, from the school we went to, McDonough 26, and they have McDonough 35, McDonough 28, McDonough 42, and all these different schools named after John McDonough. John McDonough, I heard he was a racist, and I heard he was a Freemason. And McDonough 26 is the only McDonough school in Gretna on the West Bank. So I went to McDonough 26 Elementary School, and that school is Masonic. I mean, guess what the colors are? Red. Like McDonough Red Dragon. Yeah, like the devil. Like, when you look at these schools, even our school mascots be satanic. And Gretna Junior High was green and yellow. And then West Jeff, what the colors were? Scarlet and gray silver. Nichols State University had the same colors. UNO had blue. And they both have kind of like the same mascot, but different names. Like, my high school diploma is red, and my freaking college degree is blue. But if I would have graduated from Nichols, that would have also been red. But anyway, I said all this to say that in my dream that I just woke up from, but before that though, remember I told y'all back in that back in 2019, the fake foster cousin Shelby, I didn't realize he was being used to gang stalk me. And every time I would just so happen to bump into him at the Rouse's in downtown New Orleans. And I saw him at least 3 or 4 different times or something like that. He pretended to be fake nice and took my phone number down and saw that I was homeless. And he had a deceitful looking smile on his face. And it was very shady that he snuck behind my back and gave the fake foster mom, Adrian Felder, my phone number. And the foster mom called me, cussing me out. Well, you're the same lady who kept on saying that you've been harassing me for fucking years, telling me that I'm going to grow up to be a homeless, schizophrenic prostitute. And that I'm going to wind up in jail or dead and deserve it. Now, she used to tell me I'm going to grow up to be a homeless, schizophrenic, drug-addicted prostitute. And so then she pretended to be fake outraged in 2019. And called me up and questioned me and, making like if she was in disbelief that I'm freaking homeless. Don't play that you're shocked that I'm homeless. You're the one who put me in this damn gang stalking program. You put me in this gang stalking program. And you used to tell me, you're going to wind up homeless. Nobody's going to hire you. You're going to grow up to look like such and such schizophrenic person. Or you're going to... She would drive around the neighborhood and show all the homeless druggies that I'm going to grow up to be like. Or she would show me text in in her psychology textbooks and say, "Oh, you see the schizophrenic white woman right here? Oh, you look just like her when you have your fits," and stuff like that. You know, she used to play those kind of psychological games with me and just tearing me down. But she made false promises in 2019. When, like, in 2017, I heard she had that stroke. And then in 2019, she called me up outraged, you know, and it seemed like, well, damn, I'm 40 years old and still would forever be tied to that foster mom, I guess, for her to still feel like she got control over me. You know, but once in 2015 and once in 2017, she'd give me a cheap-ass $40 and then say, spend it wisely. But motherfucker, you done stole thousands from me. And if the foster mom would have passed away, I'm not welcome. I mean, I already know that her family members declared that I'm not welcome at her funeral. Or somebody like Joe or somebody, I probably would get jumped for attending the funeral. That's how much they freaking hate me. So I couldn't even go. The woman who took the brownie points for raising me, if she would have passed away, I couldn't even go to her doggone funeral. But my twin sister would rather be loyal to the foster mom. But when was they're not in touch with each other. But she would rather defend and agree with the fake foster mom. My twin sister experienced the same oppression and abuse and persecution from the woman. But then my twin sister, after selling out and becoming a perp, gained favoritism with the woman. Because my twin sister had Stockholm Syndrome too, and idolizing and worshiping the fake foster mom because of her genetic features and light skin. I'll say, fuck that woman. Excuse me. And as I said, the abuse tactics that you see my twin sister doing, it's like directly from the foster mom's abuse textbook. Excuse me. And directly from the foster mom's abuse textbook. But my twin sister try to mix a little bit ghetto and a little bit hood with it, you know. And the foster mom didn't raise us to be hood and ghetto. But my twin sister try to be like a gangster version of the fake foster mom Ann's abuse. That's what she be trying to be like. And my twin sister don't even know how to be a real thug. Because she can be cowardly and scary her damn self. You scared of another damn female, but you a bully and abuse your own twin sister. She was scared of that neighbor and running away from that neighbor. What was that neighbor's name? The neighbor in Texas, Shaquan or whatever her name was. My twin sister know who to be scared of, but she thinks she got nothing to lose with me. So, but I mean, something else I was trying to say, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, when the foster mom yelled at me in 2019 and pretended to be fake outraged about me being actually street homeless, but I'm not on drugs, I don't prostitute, and I don't buy the lie that, oh, Candy's schizophrenic. No, I'm not. But there have been people that said that implied that we were under MK Ultra experience and satanic ritual abuse. And they say, oh, well, the reason why your mind was the way it was. Oh, because MK Ultra and mind splitting, and MPDDID MK Ultra, and the thing with us being twins, with them MK Ultra experimentation on twins, and we were forced to grow up in a cult. And so the foster mom in 2019, she made it like she was gonna go on some trip out of town for a week and then come back. And the woman, she made false promises to have me to stay by her house. Excuse me. For me to stay by her house. And then for me to stay by her house, and then excuse me, for me to stay by her house, and then she went AWOL on me, and I never heard back from her. And I was scared to call her and be like, well, hey mom, you said that you were gonna let me. No, I didn't even call and ask, but as I said, if I had to live underneath them, I would be like more subjected to abuse. But the foster mom was excited to see me and nice, in 2015 and 2017. But the foster sister Shelly in 2017, she acted like still jealous and still looking down on me, and like still got this grudge and treated me like as if my presence wasn't welcome. Like I was, like if I was to think like a new ager, I would be like, yeah, Shelly had that vibe and I could tell from her energy. But I ain't gonna talk like that though. But I'll just say that Shelly, treated me like as if, as if my presence wasn't welcome, and like as if she really didn't want me at her house. And if I hadn't seen or contacted her in like 10 years, like between 2007 and 2017, no contact at all. But in 2006, Shelly lied on me. Lied and said that she was there, and lied and said that I hit the foster boy James first. When she was downstairs and overheard the commotion, but she lied to the police and said that she eyewitnessed me punch James first. I never laid a finger on that boy. And he was underage, not Joni's brother James. And he was the golden child of the foster boys. Him and the foster boy Corey and the foster boy Tyrone. Excuse me. But James came after Corey and Tyrone. But yeah, the foster mom was using, and my twin sister, that boy James was nice to my twin sister and her husband Dwayne, and James had a murderous kind of hatred towards me. And my twin sister smear campaigned me to each and every new foster boy that came by. And now years later, I'm hearing my twin sister lie to people and say that I molested Cody in the closet and was making donkey noises. And then she said that the foster sister Shelly said that. But the foster sister Shelly never said that shit to my face. I never was in the closet with no doggone foster boy Cody and was never attracted to him. And the foster boy Cody is deceased and not even here to be like, well, they were lying. Candy never did that to me. Excuse me. So, and the foster boy Cody was special needs, that in a way that they probably would have manipulated him and coached him on how to lie on me. And it was the big thing in 2006 that the foster mom Adrian Felder and the foster sister Shelly kept bullying, harassing, and threatening me and try to manipulate and instill fear, that they kept falsely accusing me of molesting the foster boys, Nick and Richard and all them, but they never falsely accused me of molesting Ryan and Alex. But ask if there are any police reports of the year between December 2005 and August of 2006. How many child molestation police reports to the Gretna police? Because the fake foster mom, Adrian Felder, and the foster sister Shelly, and them, they fucking lying. But they lied on me and said I molested the foster, that I was doing sexual stuff with the foster niece Chastity. I wasn't even fucking attracted to Chastity. I mean, what the hell? And they try to falsely frame and set that up. And the foster sister Shelly kept trying to force Chastity to monitor. And Chastity was a teenager and I was an adult. And they wanted to treat me like as if a retarded child that doesn't know any better. And the foster sister Shelly would have Chastity to follow me around and monitor and surveil me. Chastity was a fucking abusive, narcissistic perp while simultaneously being physically abused and beat on herself. I witnessed Shelly and Brian physically abusing and beating on Chastity. Beating the dog shit out of her. They were very abusive towards Chastity. But they didn't lay a finger on Ryan and Alex. But maybe one time I saw Shelly, I forgot whether she punched or pinched Ryan when he was 8. But yeah, they never really put their hands on Alex though. But Chastity was the black sheep of those 3 kids. And Ryan and Alex were like the golden kids. Because that was Shelly's biological kids. But Chastity was from a different woman. And so I only got a certain amount of time, so I would go into more detail, but sometimes it takes and that's why I talk about shit from 20 years ago, because sometimes it takes for me to talk about a history of 20 years ago to get to my point of what shit that would happen nowadays. So now I'm sorry it took me like an hour and 7.5 freaking minutes for me to get to it, but the dream manipulation that they did to me was now, far as I knew, I figured the foster mom was considered family. You know, I mean, I thought I knew her as mom, right? Well, in 2018, you know, a couple of nights I stayed outside on the steps by her house, you know, and I thought that was still her house, you know, and a couple of nights in 2018 after becoming homeless, or a few nights maybe, and being in the same way that I was by 936 Huey P. Long. You know, because I just became homeless and didn't know where else to go. And that was before I fully woke up to about the gang stalking. You know, and so, like, I mean, and I was being attacked and torn up by mosquitoes and stuff. Like, as I said, even in 2018, I didn't even know that would have been against the law. You know, and so many people were like, well, how come you don't go live with your mama? Meaning the foster mom. You know, but this year, I showed y'all where the house was, but I didn't go stay on that property this year. It looked like, as I said, it looked like different people were living there. I couldn't even go stay on the front porch of any biological family member's house. Like Yvonne, you know, she wouldn't have allowed me to even stay on the front porch of her house. Not even the damn backyard of her house. You know, but I mean, as I said, I didn't even know. I didn't even know any better. I didn't even know, you know. But now I don't know who actually owns or lives at that house, where the house we grew up in. and I didn't, and so, I mean, um, so I had a dream manipulation nightmare that, it was during the daytime, and the foster mom never in real life had a garage sale, but it looked like as if it was a garage sale going on. And in the dream, I was sitting on the grass on the 9th Street side of the foster mom's house, kind of close to where the carport is. In the dream, they had a bunch of people who were Freemasons and gang stalkers surrounding me and perping me around 3-something in the afternoon in a dream. In the dream, the police approached me. The police approached me and were harassing me, the fake Gretna police, in the dream. And they had people that were perping with blue, white, red, and black, with those colors that weren't police, and surrounding me and perping me and harassing me. And in the dream, I saw like red cars with one headlight, this and that, whatever, whatever gang stalking perp activity. And in the dream, like, I put out my phone camera and started filming the Gretna police. And then they scattered like roaches. And like drove off or went to hide in certain other people's houses and went to hide in the buildings. I mean, hide in other people's houses and stuff like that in the dream that I just woke up from this afternoon. Now, in real life, I was looking at videos of Kiana Clark Peace, and she's a targeted individual going through precisely even the online perps treat her the comments that they use. They treat her the exact same way. They talk to her the exact same way they talk to me. They treat her the exact same way they treat me. And then they had a ghetto perp that physically assaulted her this morning and talked to her and called her crazy the exact same way they do to me. And then but she has kids, and CPS wrongfully took her kids away. They try to, the online perps got their own false narratives about how we're such bad people and everything, and they're trying to falsely paint her to be so crazy, even her own sister, and so like certain stuff in the video that I saw in real life of me watching her videos, some of that even played into my dreams. And then I saw a YouTube video of a 10-year-old boy who a 10-year-old boy who committed suicide from being bullied by the school, by his schoolmates, and the parents called over 20 times to try to see about that boy. Now, like, that boy might have been a child who was a targeted individual. In the news clip, the mom was wearing all black, and the dad was wearing a white shirt with red around it. And I don't even know if that could have been a Masonic blood sacrifice. They bullied that 10-year-old boy to his murder. I mean, to him to off himself. But every once in a while, you hear this about kids. Now, what was strange was I woke up and probably had to use the bathroom, or I woke up and then went back to sleep. And they had this younger black female in another dream that I had this afternoon. And she was wearing like fake, what back in 1990 they used to call it dookie braids. So she had that Masonic fake red hair like a reddish burgundy kind of color of dookie braids, and she was purple with the red. But in the dream though, it was a black female. Looked like she could have been like in her late 20s, early 30s. And in the dream, she was regretful. She was wearing the purple colors now, and she was crying tears of remorse in the dream. And she walked up to me, and in the dream, she was threatening suicide and feeling suicidal. And in the dream, she confessed to me about being recruited as a confidential informant by Gretna police to gang stalk me. And she felt regretful, remorseful, and suicidal about it, and was more like begging for my forgiveness. And I'm like, this gotta be all part of the dream manipulation. And they said that the gang stalking dream manipulation has something to do with witchcraft. But yeah, in the Saturday, Miss Lillian was talking about, praying for me and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, I hope it ain't no Masonic prayers, But yeah, I mean, as I said, I found out that Kraft family is Masonic. And the foster mom is Masonic. The foster family, the rich ones living the high life, is Masonic. But, as I said, I really think the foster cousin Cricket and them are targeted. And they don't fit in with the mold, and they seem like they're more poor. And they try to make like Cricket was crazy with a mental problem. And I don't even know if the foster mom was Cricket's handler. But she was very controlling and abusive towards Cricket for years. But I never saw her physically abuse and put her hands on Cricket. But, she would be angry and yelling at Cricket and very controlling. And the foster mom, I didn't realize she was brainwashing us, because she would even tell us that our birth mom didn't want us. And she used to tell Joni the same thing, that Cricket didn't want her. But I really think that they conspired to plot to have, those kids taken away. Because, I mean, I don't even know who was in when we were little kids, Joni's older sister, Tasha, I don't know if Tasha was under the care or under the control of the foster grandma, Mildred Collins, when we were super little. And, but James Burris, Joni's brother, was definitely, under, what is Cricket, the foster grandma, Mildred Collins' niece? So James was the foster grandma, Mildred Collins' great nephew, I think. With Joni, their great niece and nephew, or what, great niece, great nephew. So the foster grandma, Mildred Collins, was like a paid foster parent of her own biological great nephew. But I kind of suspect that the foster cousin Cricket had been a targeted individual. I could be wrong. But yeah, it seemed like as if Mickey, Ann, and Dana and them were like targeting Cricket and trying to make it like she was crazy. And even certain other family members like Billy and Skeeter and stuff like that. Now, I think it was the foster cousin Billy that smashed the windows of the foster mom's BMW, and the foster mom and the foster stepdad had they forced us to clean out the freaking glass out of the car. And they try to say that Billy and Skeeter were crazy and on drugs and alcoholics or whatever. They probably were freaking targeted too. Yeah, the ones that weren't the complexion of white people. The ones that looked more black and less Creole. But some of the ones like the foster cousin Ed, he had all the black features, not the Creole features, but he was one of the elite ones. You know, Ed, Kirk, and the others, they're more like the elite ones in the family. But Cricket and some of her sisters, you know, being like outcasted and treated differently, and know some secret. According to my twin sister, yeah, they know some secrets. But my twin sister knows some secrets too, but she would rather just side with the damn devil. Because in my twin sister, you know, if me and her could come together, you know, people say that we would, that if we, that, and she herself even acknowledged that we would be a powerful force to be reckoned with, or that we, if we came together, we could shut the world down. But my twin sister's so busy siding with the Freemasons and defending evil. And she think that because she got a fake flying monkey cult following army cheerleaders, she think that makes her powerful. But she can't do this by herself. That's why she got her flying monkeys. But I'm forced to be in this battle all by my damn self. And this is what people said about Jaguar Wright. They said if they're trying to come after her, you might as well spill all the beans and tell all the truth before they come after you and take you out and kill you. They set her up last year. You know. But you know, it seems like the gang stalkers, what they're doing, like, it seems like, you know, as I said, like, all the death insinuations and the death threats at me, you know, and I'm fucking sick of this earth anyway. I'm fucking sick of this world, and I hate this world anyway. Excuse me. And I heard you have to be a Freemason in order to be a police officer. And that's why they got the Masonic Fraternal Order of Police. Excuse me. And the Foster family and the Kraft family, they got Masonic connections and Gretna police connections. And the Foster family claimed to be related to that Kraft family. And that both of them, the Foster family and the Kraft family, they claim to be related to certain members of the fake IDMR cult. Well, if Big Al left the fake IDMR cult, I'm happy for him. But I don't even know. He said it in a joking way. The foster mom, she ain't no bad person. Like, that foster mom put me in a doggone gang stalking program to protect Lanika and scapegoat me. Like she protected the foster cousin Kirk Jr., Kirk and Brandon, and scapegoated Wyatt. But then Wyatt was doing some stuff too. And I mean, like, you got to be a bad foster parent. And I mean, the CPS investigating the foster mom's abuse multiple times. They investigated the foster mom's abuse. CPS, school teachers even called CPS on the foster mom for abusing me. And then the foster mom would get mad at me. and become even more abusive for revenge when I was still in elementary school or even in junior high. Excuse me. Now, they have CPS called on the foster mom. And then we got taken away from her for a couple of times. And they wanted to investigate on fucking Christmas at Mickey's house. And we were 7 years old being investigated and questioned about Kirk and Brandon. And many people insinuate that me and my twin sister were victims of satanic ritual abuse growing up, or MK Ultra mind control and mind splitting. And that sex trafficking. But I damn sure don't remember being sexually molested as a child. But I do remember the physical abuse and the beatings. Even from the nursery, but I don't remember any sexual abuse at the nursery. But the physical abuse and beatings, yeah, I remember those. But they used to beat on just about every kid except their top favorite, golden children, at the Learning Tree Daycare Center. And I heard that at the Hummingbird, run by fake IDMR cult members, the abuse was even more horrific. That the abuse was worse at the Hummingbird than at the Learning Tree where we went to. Excuse me. Yeah, so it seemed like we were physically abused and beat on as kids by foster family members, nursery people. Mr. Freddie put his hands on, with physical abuse and beatings, when we were little. The foster mom used to have Miss Allen and them babysit us after school in kindergarten, when Lanika still had her innocence, and I considered her my only friend at that time. She was the only friend I knew. And I remember the foster mom introducing me and Lanika on the first day of kindergarten, and we rode that bus 392 at Gretna number 2. The school was close enough that we could have walked over there. But then, afterwards they put me in special ed. But yeah, I don't remember the Kraft family before kindergarten, but they used to live right across the street from us. And as I said, they treated us a certain way because the foster mom smear campaign and abuse and had us terrified and traumatized and in constant fear. But if Miss Lillian and Shamel and them ain't really mad at me, then I ain't mad at them no more. But as I said, and that was a point in time when I was going to UNO with Talisha, and we used to sit on a transit bus together. But Talisha had some kind of fake stuff with her, acting a little weird and funny towards me too. But I don't remember Shamela bullying Talisha. But it was mainly Lanika that used to bully Talisha to tears. And my twin sister and Joni and Lanika used to huddle together and bully me and Talisha when the foster mom used to force us to hang with them. And they used to bully us to the point of an emotional meltdown. But one time, we were still kids though, But one time Talisha treated me mean to the point of emotional meltdown, And the fake foster mom was like, "You are having an anxiety attack." No, anxiety attack, what is that? But they used to bully me and Talisha to tears and compare both of us to that character, Felicia from the movie Friday. And I come to think of it, Lanika used to do perp like stuff to me even in 7th grade. And after a while, just sitting there getting tired of the bullying and abuse. And Lanika used to try to make a fool out of my twin sister too. And Lanika used to ignorantly laugh and say, "Get them wedges out your butt!" Ha 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 ha. Talking about get them wedges out your butt. Excuse me. Oh man, I'm sorry. See, now they hit me with energy weapons to make me fart just now. And the foster sister Shelly used to do the same thing about wedgies in my butt. Oh, or get out your booty. You know, and I didn't even realize that that was a Tourette's tick. You know, when they was the 90s trend about wedgies, you know, and they used to compare me and Talisha to the character Felicia from Friday. And that lady, I heard, was being bullied and abused in real life from that character from the movie. And there was an interview about her. I forgot what her real name was. And they bullied and harassed that lady from her character in the movie. And you know, and I wouldn't be surprised if the fake Darnell Williams perp would make a fake profile and say greedy 666 Freemason wedgie perp. Wedgie Grand Perp. He might say greedy wedgie Grand Perp 666 or some fake profile like that or something like that. You know, nowadays he's become more predictable. But as I said, they ain't calling my twin sister fat and greedy. And Lanika used to bully, harass, and laugh at me and call me greedy. The trigger word, greedy. But she can be greedy with as much whoring as she wants. And promiscuity. She probably had more penises in her life than I had of damn food. And you bullying, harassing, and laughing and making fun of me. So, like, it was the foster cousin Kim, the foster brother Ed's brother, who I saw a few months ago. But he didn't recognize that was me, and I didn't realize that was him at first. You know, and I felt like so humiliated and embarrassed. You know, that people who know me see me being forced homeless. And even people from the nursery, like Miss Donna Anderson from the nursery, she's related to some fake IDMR cult members, and I think she might be related to some Kraft family members too, related to Miss Ollie and stuff. And when she saw me, and a few years ago, and me dealing with being homeless, and you know, I didn't even realize all this shit was related to me being targeted. But Miss Donna was never mean to me. The only lady from the nursery who was never mean, and she never put her hands on me. You know, excuse me. And I went to school with two of her sons, Michael and Leonce Anderson. But me and Michael used to have moments where we would argue, fuss, and not get along. You know, when we were kids, but we were doggone kids, you know. But yeah, like, I understand that some people act a certain way because they're doggone kids, but then we grow up and be like 70 and 80 years old, and they have certain, you know, elderly people that's bullying you like they're 5th graders or something. You like 95 years old, gang stalking and harassing people and stuff. You know, I thought people would be mature and grow up and grow out of that, you know. And so the same people that's part of the Masonic cults that bully and abuse and harass and gang stalk, they be the main ones to tell us to grow up and act our age. But I didn't have that much interaction growing up with the foster cousin Kim. But I felt sad to find out his daughter passed away some years ago. But Kim didn't really come around that much, but it was mainly Kirk and Ed and the sister Sharice. And the foster mom used to put stuff in Sharice's head and make her have a certain opinion about me. But that lady Sharice, her husband was a fake pastor or something from that Paul Martin church, and her husband had shot and killed her and then made it look like a suicide. And even I would have known that Sharice wouldn't be the type to off herself. But the foster mom used to have that lady treat me mean. That was the foster cousin Ed's sister too. And Ed was never really nice. Ed never put his hands on me, but he would, as far as abuse and violence, but I never really saw him put his hands on nobody, but he was abusive, narcissistic, hard, and mean. And sometimes Kirk would be fake nice, but instigating and laugh when the foster mom would go off on us. Excuse me. But yeah, I wouldn't even feel right with somebody taking me in to live with them. And I feel like even if I had to live with biological family members or craft family members or foster family members, IDMR cult family members, or anybody I went to school with, I feel afraid that if I had to live with them, for them to be a living handler, I'll be afraid that I would be subjected to abuse living with somebody, But the gang stalking network, the cult network, they won't allow me to live by myself. They won't allow me to earn my own money to survive. They're forcing me to be poor. They're forcing me to be homeless. They're forcing me to be homeless. And my twin sister would rather go to bat for and defend and agree with strangers. Even nameless and faceless strangers, she would rather defend against her own twin sister. That's who she got loyalty towards. And if I lived with my twin sister, I would be dead by now. I would have been put in the grave a long time ago. I mean, by her acting out the abuse. Like, my twin sister would do something like set me up, physically abuse and beat on me, take all my money, and then lie to the police. And I'm bloodied and beaten up. She would perform her own police brutality on me before she would even call the police. And then I'm end up going to jail, bloody and beaten up, beaten to a bloody pulp. Oh, she would do the police brutality honors before the police get there. Acting out and repeating the foster family abuse. Now, Dana I guess we never really been around Dana enough for her to put her hands on us. And I don't think Whitney put her hands on us. And I don't think, you know what? We were younger though, but one time I think Corey put his hands on me before. But Chris and Mildred, they never really put their hands on me. But Mildred was always yelling at me and treating me mean. But Shelby never really been around me that much. But all of Adrian Felder's kids, all of them have had their share in being abusive and putting their hands on us. But if we were still kids and put our hands on Kyle, Juju, or any of them, you know, oh, they didn't want us hitting their kids, but they were beating on us when we were kids. But we were still kids ourselves, you know. And as I said, I got a certain age, and I told myself I would break the cycle of abuse. Excuse me. And I didn't want to be an abuser. I didn't want to be an abusive person. And I realized that I started to become an abusive person. I put a stop to it. I didn't want to be an abusive person. Like, I'm talking about with physical abuse, you know. Excuse me. But, and I had to learn as I got older. When I was a kid, I would take my anger and frustration out on other people. But I got a certain age and said I wanted to break that cycle, and I didn't want to be abusive, or I didn't want to be taking my anger out on innocent people who haven't done me anything. You know. So, you know, and Lanika and Mr. Freddie are the only two Kraft family members that I can recall. Oh, and Danielle too, but that ever put their hands on me. But we were still kids though. But Mr. Freddie was already elderly. I don't think Miss Allen ever even put her hands on me. And Miss Cheryl or Miss Lillian, they never really put their hands on me. Shamela and Talisha never really put their hands on me. Tish never really, but then they were kind of older and moved out or whatever, you know. But the most abusive person out of that family was Lanika. But Mr. Freddie was never nice. The man cussed me out at my right after coming home from the high school graduation. And that's the same man that told the foster mom that she should have left us nasty, filthy, dirty babies where she found us. And that the foster mom used to throw in our face that, oh, y'all were so nasty, filthy, and dirty that the social workers didn't even want to touch y'all. And the foster mom kept repeatedly throwing that in our face. So anyway, though, I don't know if I will do a video later on tonight, cause excuse me, I don't know, if I might do another video tonight, but it's 7:27 p.m. Wow, I'm getting a lot of thunderstorm alerts, severe thunderstorm. A lot of tornado and severe thunderstorm, and hail and all that. So, but I'm glad I got to vent. But and the gangs, abusive narcissists, the gang stalkers, the fake TI perps tell me that I talk too much, and then I need to stop being a threat. They tell me that I run my mouth too much. But y'all bastards got so many secrets. But y'all run y'all mouths too much lying on me. You know. But yeah, like as I said, like my twin sister would get off on saying anybody to hurt me or retaliate against me. I mean, nobody's saying that her abuse and everything, and the way she's treated me, there's really nobody, like everybody's feeling like my twin sister's abuse is justified. And my twin sister delusionally believed that she's my freaking handler. And that Lisa Rubio lady was trying to make it like as if Lanika from the Kraft family was one of my handlers, one of my main handlers. But Lanika will always trigger and provoke to the point of reactive abuse. And then play victim after she got hurt. Think the shit is funny. And then after you lash out on her, shit ain't funny no more. And the foster sister Shelly would do the same. And my twin sister would do the same. Bully, harass, and laugh at you mercilessly to torture to the point of you lashing out. And then they're the crying victims that's hurt. Excuse me. So, but yeah, I probably am in a whole bunch of world of damn trouble. You know, but as I said, like the gang stalkers want for me to be, they're hoping, rubbing their hands together and hoping that 2024 will be the chief year for Candy Grand Prix to be murdered and lose her life. Or, for, you know, they just want me to be destroyed in any and every way possible. As I said, how many police reports of child molestation is there reported to Gretna police from the foster mom Adrian Felder and the foster sister Shelley? I bet you won't find any. But they would make those threats and lies to try to keep me in line. And I had just got hired in 2006 after graduation. Got hired to work at my old school Gretna Junior High. And the foster mom was plotting to sabotage that job opportunity as soon as she found out that I got hired. And then the foster brother, the foster boy James Joseph, not the other one, James Burris, not Joni's brother James, but that underage foster boy James put his hands on me. And the very next day I was forced to flee and go all the way to New York and ended up homeless. When I could have started but I probably would have been workplace mobbed or lied on, you know, and the foster mom would have pretended to fake govern me and have heavy control over me. You know, but if I would have stayed at Shelley or Brian's house, I would have been subjected to abuse. Excuse me. In 2017, Brian was lecturing me about conspiracy theories while hypocritically watching freaking football. And I'm like, you're sitting there watching football, which is Illuminati and New World Order, but you're lecturing me about how I shouldn't be researching conspiracy theories. But Brian, I promise you, Brian is a damn abusive, narcissistic Freemason. Brian is a damn Freemason. How was he able to have connections with the Blue Chips movie and Shaq? And he owns all these whatever fucking businesses. And I heard that Brian and Shelley's marriage was an arranged marriage. And those people got fucking money. Brian especially. Shelley didn't even have to freaking work. And they're able, like, they don't even know what it's like to taste homelessness and struggling. Lanika doesn't know what it's like to taste homelessness and poverty and struggling. The foster mom Adrian Felder and them, yeah, they don't even have to taste poverty and struggling. But Candy Grand Prix has been forced poor all her life. Me, been forced poor and living on disabled fixed income all my fucking life. Tomorrow I'm scheduled to go back on the streets in the fucking rain and severe thunderstorms and stuff. And don't even know if I would get help this week. But I'm thankful and glad somebody helped me yesterday. And I'm glad I was able to get some sleep and some naps and some rest. All to end up going back out and dealing with gang stalking, harassment, and abuse, and sleep deprivation, swelling legs, and who knows what else. So, but anyway, I don't even know if the storage spaces on my phone is eating up, and I might have to delete some space on my phone, but I'm glad I got to get some release in expressing my feelings in this video. But at the same time, um I trying not to be fearful of people trying to retaliate against me, because my twin sister will make sure it will happen. But if anything happens to me, I didn't commit suicide. That's the targeted individual disclaimer. I didn't commit suicide. If you find me dead, I was murdered. By who? Yeah, the fake Darnell Williams publicizing whatever fucking hotel I'm staying at. Starbricker, my twin sister, any of these online perps would be the masterminds. Stalking me on YouTube. So if anything happened to me, it was a murder. And no, it's not justified. In God's eyes, no, it ain't justified. So, I mean, y'all planning to kill me anyway. So, I mean, but anyway, even earlier, I didn't have breakfast and I couldn't even eat all my lunch. But that stuffed bell pepper, I'm surprised how good it was. But it had like 2 or 3 pieces of shrimp in there, and but it was so good. But the mac and cheese was okay. But I guess for dinner I would try the turkey wings. The turkey wings and rice, I guess I'm supposed to be prepared for no flavor and more doggone peas and corn. So, but I'm gonna get off here. And as I said, I don't know if I would do another video later on tonight or tomorrow. But I'll see. All I know is I'll see y'all later. But I need any and all the help that I can get. I need any and all the help that I can get for more hotel stay and food out of the rain and out of the bad weather. And as I said, the gang stalkers, sex trafficking gang stalkers are forcing me to be homeless and want me wrongfully banned from everywhere and think the shit is funny. My twin sister also thinks the shit is funny. But then when I go speaking truth, she gets mad. She thinks her bullying is funny until I start calling her out and speaking the truth. And then she get really mad when I start speaking the truth. So, and it seemed like everybody would know the foster mom to be my handler, for me to be tied to her for the rest of my doggone life. Excuse me. But I really wish to get to have my own place again and to be harassment free, gang stalking free, and to just live at peace. But they won't allow that. They make it, the gang stalking network is the sex trafficking perps. They're making my life a living hell. And so I'm asking for whatever help I can get, please, to stay off the streets and out of the rain. The shelters won't help. they say that they don't. I mean, the shelters aren't even giving me no freaking help, and the shelters are dangerous, and they say that there's no room. Excuse me. So I'm getting off here. It's 7:39 p.m. right now.